Well, the U.S. Postal Service just released its national ranking showing which cities have the most dog attacks on postal workers. Sacramento is number 16. 22 carriers were attacked last year. One Sacramento letter carrier was attacked 18 months ago, and she's still recovering.
I had to throw my satchel over his head to stop his attack. And it still gets to me because, like I said, it's very vivid in my mind that day because I really did. When I first grabbed my arm, I thought he had ripped it off. That's what it felt like.
The incident was reported to Animal Control. A spokesperson says the dog had to be euthanized. Kara wasn't alone. In 2020, more than 5,800 postal employees were attacked by dogs on the job. And joining us now live is Sacramento Postmaster Doug Smith. Postmaster Smith, first, thank you so much for being with us. You know, today begins National Dog Bite Awareness Week. Talk about what are some of the easy ways that dog owners and families can help avoid these unwanted encounters?
You know, most of it just revolves around keeping your dog, either behind a fence, in another room when we come to make a delivery at your home. You know, we've had several dog bites where a carrier will come up, knock on the door to let someone know that we have a package for them. The owner comes to the door with the dog behind them, not realizing that the dog's going to bolt out of the door and come after our carrier. Sometimes we leave packages on the doorstep, knock on the door, and then the carrier will walk away. The customer will open the door without realizing that the dog is also going to bolt out the door after our carrier. I encourage people to sign up for informed delivery because that will give them an idea of what mail they're getting for the day, potentially what time the carrier is going to arrive at their home, to give them an opportunity to put the dog away so that we don't risk the incident.
Postmaster Smith, what about legal responsibility after an attack? So can an owner be charged with a crime?
Yes, potentially. They can actually be sued as well for damages. We've had letter carriers that have been, have suffered some horrific injuries. I will tell you, in my career about 10 years ago, I had a carrier that died as a result of a dog incident. And that family was sued by the family of the deceased carrier. So it can lead to some significant money and charges potentially.
Yeah, pretty significant situations, and awareness is important. What about dogs being on the loose? So you talked about perhaps dogs being in homes with owners, but what about dogs on the loose in an area? If a carrier deems that area unsafe, can they actually refuse to deliver mail there?
Yes, we actually encourage our carriers if they do encounter a dog that's loose out on the street, not to get out and make the attempt to make the delivery. They do reach out to us. We do try to reach out to Animal Control immediately and get Animal Control involved to get them out to the scene, to get them to potentially try to find out who the dog belongs to get it back home, or potentially take the dog into keep it away.
Yeah, and this can affect a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of families. So what message do you want to give parents to their families about when letter carriers do arrive at their door? What is it that you want them to do to ultimately help these carriers be able to do their job?
Well, again, during COVID, over the last year, we've seen an uptick in the number of bites we had. I know that you guys talked about the number that we had last year nationally, over 5,800. We had over 156 here in the Sacramento district last year. And we're only 8 months into our fiscal year this year. We've already had 100 incidents this year. And a lot of that just is a result of children being home, seeing the mailman come, and possibly come to the door, knock, and they open the door with a dog, and the dog's just being protective. The dog is doing what it's instinctive in what it does in protecting families. And we just ask to make sure that owners know, during those hours of the day where we typically come, to please put their dog either in a backyard, in a back room, before they even open the door. Is just consider that. The message we want to get out to everyone right now is any dog can bite. It doesn't matter what size the dog is. It doesn't matter what breed the dog is. The dog presents a potential hazard to our letter carriers.
Postmaster Smith, I appreciate you so much being here live with us, answering those questions, and I know a lot of good information for folks in